Whatever the answer to that is what they are hiding, in my opinion, just to give my 2 cents.
Papa 20, whatever he said about, he couldn't pass it up or whatever, which he could have moved the fight three months further back to probably get a little, feel better, but that didn't happen. So, I mean, nothing I can say about it.
And so in the interview, he talked about taking a cortisone shot. That's what that was about then.
Right. That's why I influenced him. Like, you have to take a shot. You gotta do something, because if you're not going to pull out, if you're not going to, it didn't.
How are you influencing him to take a cortisone shot if you don't even know how hurt he is or what's going on with him, because he ain't told you what the doctor said? How could you listen? It's too much that's not being said, y'all. How can you be like, oh, you need to get a cortisone shot when you just said he was supposedly hurt? You didn't even know if it was hurt for real. This shit sound like this is just a shit show.
Far, even the last couple of weeks when I was like, hey, listen, you can just move around. They won't throw body shots. And I mean, so, that's what the cortisone shot was about. So listen, you got to get a shot or something to kind of deaden the pain or whatever.
All of this is really interesting because I'm listening to you. I didn't know that did his father always play that big of a part?
No, not really. But this particular time.
Not really. Derek. Whatever this thing you and Earl do, it pisses me off. This whole like passive, like that's when I hear them talk, that's just what I imagine. Like, okay, like what? I just want to smack y'all in the back of the head. How, if his daddy never was really saying nothing, can come to you and tell you he don't need to spar? Because they are hiding something. What was it? And why couldn't he push the fight back? Y'all ever like been around people or been around family members and they be so secretive about everything and it's just annoying? It's like, your cousin got a C in algebra, but they don't want to say nothing. They trying to keep it. And it's like they acting like he got AB on a roll. And it's like, why are you trying to keep that a secret that he got a C in algebra? Just little stupid stuff. It's just like, like, I don't know. It's weird. Like people that act like that, they just weird. Because it makes me feel like I can't trust you. It makes me feel like you're dishonest. And it's not really that you being dishonest, but you are being dishonest because you're not expressing what you really feeling or what's going on in your head. And if you don't got nothing in your head and you don't feel nothing, that is also a problem. And maybe Derek is just being vague, and maybe he did have a conversation with Earl Jr. and he just ain't give him the information. But Derek is telling this story like he was like, hey, he ain't sparring no more. Save it for the fight. And Derek was like, okay. La la la. You ain't ask for no details? I'm not understanding this. And it don't make you a bad trainer. It doesn't make you a bad trainer. Like Derek James could be absolutely good at his job. He's just not good at communicating with people. I even hear Alicia Baumgartner. I heard Alicia Baumgartner before her last fight when they would ask her about Derek James. She kept on talking about communicating and communicating and communicating and communicating. And when she was saying that, I was like, that's exactly what's going on. I know exactly what she means. I know exactly what she means. And this is what she's talking about. Nobody is going to come up to me when I don't care what person I'm training, anybody I'm training, and tell me what I'm going to do with my athlete, especially if they haven't even been involved like that, been doing none of that. So the whole everything surrounding this is very, very strange. Why is everybody being so secretive? And it's probably always been like that. And we thinking, oh, it's the biggest fight in his life. And why would they do? And it's probably because they've always done it. Earl probably never disclosed personal things or stuff like that to Derek like that. Which is why they didn't have that type of relationship that Earl was talking about. And Derek is kind of like, oh, I'm big bro. Like, hey, what's up? Shoot some advice. We together. When we together, we kicking it. We cool. I'm big bro. I don't know, but this is crazy. How his dad gonna be like, no?
Did, because I mean, it's like they knew something that I didn't know, right? Because initially I didn't know he was into. But then when I found out, I told him you should call your people, call your management, let your people know. And so, and that didn't happen until, because this is the thing about boxing. Fighters fight with all types of injuries. So it's not like this is the first time that happened to us. But I mean, most guys' wrists hurt, knuckles hurt. I mean, nose may be sore. I mean, jaw could be sore, knocked off track. It's so many different things happen in boxing. So it's not like fighters don't fight injured, right? Because it happens all the time. I mean, guys with ankle issues. I mean, anything. I mean, because you got to think about it's a hope and a prayer that you go to training camp with no injuries at all. But nothing so severe as this, because this is like something that's really real, especially a fighter that's.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's where the big mistake was. Thinking that you're just an injured fighter going into a fight. Right? That sounds like that's like, I think Earl knew deep down what was up. But whatever was preventing him from pushing that fight back, he went ahead and went through with it. For whatever reason, I don't know why. We don't know why yet. He hasn't told us. And I don't know if it's Earl being who he is that he didn't say nothing, because that's dumb. You need to let your trainer know, or you didn't want to let your trainer know, or let people know because people would have told you not to fight, or